setup here. Today, I know I always say that I have a great myth lab for you guys, but I also really believe it. Like I'm not BSing right now, right? I put some time into getting my streams ready, man. I put some effort into presenting, you know, entertaining and educational insights and answering your mythological queries, right? I'm all that stuff. So this is what I'm giving to you now. We're gonna go in a slightly newer direction. Actually, it's kind of the same direction that we've been going in, man. We've been talking about we did the haunted houses yesterday. You should check that one out, man. I do a great, again, this is me saying it. I do a great piece talking about some of the most famous haunted houses in films. And I think it was appropriate that we go from not just talking about these haunted houses, that somebody starts talking about these goddamn cars that be going crazy too, right? And that's nobody else has done it. This is gonna be my job. And so I picked out 3 films that you guys are gonna be able to identify, like obviously Duel, Christine, and Maximum Overdrive. 3 movies where vehicles start tripping for some reason, and we could never figure out why. So let's start the investigatory part of dissecting each one of these road nightmares. This is road nightmarehood on an entirely different level, right? This is what we get here. So when we're talking about these movies, we're talking about these really became more prevalent. We're talking 71. I think Duel is either 71 or 79. So I've got a little bit of a gap there. I want to say it was 71. That's the one with the big Peterbilt truck. And we're going to talk about this because in itself, Peterbilt's iconic, right? I don't know if you guys realize this, but in the trucking industry, Peterbilt is 100% an icon, right? They for years, like even now, people modify trucks. Like there's a Kentworth, it doesn't carry the same vibe as what Peterbilt does. So it doesn't get that same love. And then, Christine is this 1958. Like, this is a classic car. Plymouth Fury. Just a beautiful car. A car that you would still be seeing in, car competitions right now. If somebody's got this, I come from Central Valley, California. We whip old schools like it's nothing, right? So we already had, so when we saw Christine, I understood Artie's love for this car, right? I get it. For me, it would not have been the 58 Plymouth Fury. That would not have been the car that got me. But let that bad boy have been an 86 Cutlass, right? If this is an 86 Cutlass, if they want to remake this movie and put black people in it, make that bad boy an 81 Cutlass. Go with the 81 Cutlass Supreme, and it totally makes sense. Then all of a sudden we're oh, I get it. I understand why Artie was in love with this car, right? Man, it was a 81 cut. It needed some work, man. She needed some love, and she's possessed. And you know what? They would not care. I know plenty of people that would take that 81 Cutlass right now and rim it up and hook it up, right? So we understand why he fell in love with Christine. And so we'll talk about the origins of each of these. And I'm going to start off right now with a warning to you guys that, again, this is Stephen King striking again. On at least the first 2, it's Stephen King. So a lot of the possessions of that stuff that I'm talking about comes back to Mr. Stephen King. Why that is? Maybe just because he's prolific. Maybe he's part of a plot that's actually doing something. All things are possible with God, right? Everything's possible, right? So this is what we have to accept. So let's start off. So this era of the possessed car, and I'm telling you, I can walk away from a possessed house. If the house is possessed, I just don't go to the house. That's easy. Right? I could easily not go to the Overlook Hotel. I could easily not go to the Cuesta Verde, subdivision. I could easily not go out to an Indian burial ground and put my deceased. All that stuff I could easily do. The car adds a different level because even if you don't go get the car, that car will come out and get you. It's like an Uber that you never asked for, right? An Uber service that's I'm going to kill you in 10 minutes. I'm on my way right now. Imagine you're walking to Christine and you're tracking, because she's got GPS now. So you're tracking her all the way to get to where she's getting ready to kill you. So this is what makes the car threat different than the possessed house, right? And they show different attributes. So let's talk about Christine first, who is the jealous machine. That's the archetype that she fits. And I think she's more than a machine, because here's the thing. We have this expression that in my house, we're like, yeah, we lead with love around here. Like, the first time I see you, I'm going to take family members, especially, hey, I love you. How you been? Especially if it's about to be a bad conversation, right? Especially something about to go wrong. I'm going to lead with love. So we do lead with love in this house. And that's what Christine is. Christine is the ultimate sucker for love, because once she falls in it, that's it. It is you. And Christine violates all the tenets of a guy-car relationship, which is why you're probably in a junkyard somewhere, right? Like, you would have got scooped up earlier, but you'd be tripping, and I'll explain why. So again, this is a film that was directed by John Carpenter, who's one of the masters of horror films, legendary, based on a novel by Stephen King. Again, so Christine is this 1958 Plymouth Fury. She was built in Detroit, so she was born in steel industry in America. This is when Detroit and the steel industry were thriving times. And from the moment that she rose off the line, something's wrong. Now, they never explained to us what the hell got into Christine to start this nonsense with her, but clearly something got in. So before she's even, off the line, she's already killed somebody. Now, I want to talk about the guy that she did kill. So she kills a worker who gets into this car. Now, he's in a car plant. This is Detroit. He's working in a car plant. He gets inside the car, puffing on a cigar, which in the car industry, hell no. Bullshit. You are not going to get anywhere near a new car with a cigar. I understand why they wrote it as disrespect, because he crossed, and I think he ashed in it. So there's no car dealership, no car manufacturer in the world that's going to allow its employees to do that. I would be surprised if they even let you smoke anywhere near these cars. And I'm going to tell you guys why. You guys, I don't know if I've told you, but I sold cars a lot. I actually love selling cars. I sell high-end cars. It was fucking great. It's literally was great, right? I've sold cars that people have smoked in. I had sold a car. This was a beautiful, fully customized, Range Rover, the full deal, not the sport, full-on Range Rover, supercharged. So it had the big engine. It has everything in this car. Everything you could think of, they had in this car. Sport interior, all that stuff. And whoever owned this car, it was a lease, right? Whoever owned this car just was blowing just stogies in it like it was nothing. You cannot get the cigar smell out of a car. I don't care what you do. We had it clean. We used the orange spray. We left it up. It's there, right? So we have to identify it. So he really crossed the line. So I feel like that made the movie a little bit unrealistic, but okay. It accelerated that you were disrespecting the car, and she handles it swiftly. So the important thing is that from the moment that she is created, it's already something going on with this vehicle that we never get to figure out. Maybe Mr. King will write the backstory and let us know how she got possessed, or if she's possessed, but it happens later. It doesn't happen later. It happens right then and there. And that matters because this isn't necessarily a haunted car. This car was never empty. One of the components must have had some spirit in it. But whatever it is, we see some very clear behaviors out of Christine. She has some very clear behavioral patterns that always warrant conversation. The first thing is that she's completely autonomous. This car can drive itself. She can navigate. I'm going to assume she can I don't know if she needs gas. Maybe that's to stop to her, keep her low. But she's got complete autonomy. She can drive herself and make decisions on her own. She has self-regeneration. So she can repair herself at seemingly no end. No matter how damaged she's been prior to this point, it appears that she can bring herself back from being completely destroyed to being a thriving vehicle again. So this is kind of where she sits at with it, right? This beautiful vehicle, I don't care what you do to it, right? You bend it up, you smash it up, you break the rims, it's going to self-generate. Even in the end, where they had trash compacted it down, it still seemed like, she would eventually over time get herself back, fold it up, right? That's where Christine's come from. So an amazing ability in just regeneration. She also is very aggressive territorially. She will protect her ground, which in this case was Arnie, which meant everybody had to get away from him. She has a romantic fixation with her owner, which I get that because guys in cars, We be loving cars too. So I get that she has romantic affection to him, and he may have a romantic affection to her, but that don't mean you get in the way of me. The reason that we get cars is so that you can date girls. So when you get in front of that, Christine, like, I'm always going to love you and you're not going to replace her and she's not going to replace you. You guys have completely different purposes in my life, but your purpose is to help me with her. I need you to understand that. And Christine goes off the rails immediately. She escalates to violence every single time she's encountered with anything. That's her go-to move, is violence. Obviously, she can't talk, but she goes there. She communicates with Artie only, and she bonds with Artie. Not symbolically, but in a dominant fashion. So she is the leader. She identified him early on. He was primed for this kind of domination. I'll say that. She isolates him from his friends. She encourages hostility. She feeds on his insecurity, and she rewards devotion with kind of empowerment. So this isn't random evil. She is grooming him as if she was a rich billionaire and he was a 12-year-old child. That's how she's grooming him. She's setting everything up because she wants to make sure she gets this. She doesn't just behave. She can work in a psychologically mature fashion. She understands all the mechanisms that make humans work. She gets it. She's a master of that. She can teach all of us a lot. And she operates like a jealous lover. That's one of the big things that we get out of Christine. She's a possessive lover. She's a spirit. She's this narcissistic partner. She doesn't just kill, but she's going to punish any forms of betrayal. She will destroy rivals, including that cute little brown-haired girl he was dating for some reason, how he got with her. She eliminates any competitors, which she had none. And, she demands exclusivity. You're not doing anything else. I know. I had a friend who dated a girl just like this, right? You're not going to be able to do anything else. You're not going to have any hobbies. You're not going to kick with your friends. We're doing this all day, every single day. So he doesn't own Christine. Arnie doesn't own Christine in as much as Christine owns Arnie. He belongs to her. You are mine, and that's it. And it ain't going down no other way. So she amplifies everything that's already in there to kind of transform him. That's what she did. She transformed him with confidence, with aggression, with arrogance, and it starts to mirror this toxic empowerment that she's granting on him. Now, the other thing about Christine that's pretty amazing is that she feels like an entire atmosphere. Like, she brings the 50s rock and roll with her, like with the music. The headlights kind of look like predatory eyes. You can check that out above me. And she just got an entire vibe. This is nostalgia baked into horror. So she weaponizes Americana, right? Our classic car fixation. So in a lot of ways, she's coming from industrial seduction. Arnie becomes someone because of the car. We know a lot of people like that. You become someone because of the car that you have. And she's jealous and she's tripping. And this is all about maybe even Detroit Steel becoming predatory in spirit. Maybe that's what it means, because this would have just been prior to when that industry comes crashing down. And there's a little bit of discourse in the country about why that was allowed to fail. The steel industry and the auto industries were allowed to fail. And we started farming those things offshore. And now we don't have any production and we're at war. Go figure, right? What she represents in threat levels is a very high physical threat level. The psychological threat is also extremely high, and the containment difficulty is nearly impossible. Even smashed up, she's going to get free of that smashing compactor form soon enough. Fire may slow her down, maybe a little bit, but that's kind of it. Destruction just delays her, and this is why she feels cyclical, because she really is. She will return with a newer chassis. That's how she rolls. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about is another really kind of classic car film. If I can get to the right point here, right? Okay, it's Christine. Where you at? Okay. Now, this truck here, this absolute predator nightmare, is the truck from the film Duel. And again, this was directed by another really famous director. This was Steven Spielberg. And I want to say this goes down, I think this is 71 or 79. Maybe my information's here. So unlike Christine, this car doesn't get possessed. We don't actually know anything about this vehicle other than that it's on the road and it's just smashing people. So we don't get like a demonic origin for this. We get no real myth on why this truck is running around here just causing havoc the way that it is. It appears very simple. This is a rusty 1955 Peterbilt tanker truck, a classic truck. The Peterbilt is a classic look. It's rusty, it's filthy, it's decorated with a bunch of old license plates, which we just assume are trophies for other people that you dueled with and ran off the road. So this isn't just mystical, it's also an existential feeling. Because he challenged, like, the road, this is road rage personified. And you can't get away with it. So, you know that guy that you flipped off because he went around you? That's the guy right there. That's what he manifested over all these years. So this truck is target fixated. This is kind of what it can do. These are its behavioral patterns. Target fixation, because it's locked onto you. That is your ass, Mr. Postman. It is tactical harassment. So it knows how to engage, to back off, to keep it going. It is patient, and it escalates intimidation. Its intent is to kill you. It doesn't flirt around. It's not trying to seduce you. It stalks you. It beats you down psychologically, physically, and then it kills you. And then you're done. And that's essentially how it wants the story, the narrative to be 100% of the time. That's a perfect outing for this vehicle. Now, the thing about it is that we never see a driver in this vehicle. Not one time. Now, it's kind of even like he's faceless, he's fragmented. So I'm going to go with, this connection between these two, right? Between this entity right here. There is no driver. We don't see him. So all we see is his vehicle. And psychologically, that's terrifying because by this time, we're starting to get in the early age of road rage. In fact, let me see when road rage really started to be a big thing. Let's see when the term came out, because this car is all about road rage, right? Let's see. When did road rage start to be an issue in America? Give me 1 second, because this is important. This will fill in some details about this vehicle here and why we're so terrified of it. Let's see. Okay. Concern really emerged around the 50s, right? It's the highway 70s. So the 70s is when the highway systems really start getting expanded. By the 80s, road rage was a term. So I don't think those are so disconnected. And we see in these films like the late 70s, as the highways were expanding, now we're getting to the idea of these like road rage incidents being more normalized and just like being something that you fear. And all of us have had some absolutely crazy incident with somebody on the road, just like they're absolutely tripping. I've had that, and I'm sure you guys have. And I'm smart enough to say you got to get away from that stuff, man. When I was in college, like I went to school in Santa Barbara, we had to do a lot of. I was taking some film classes and film school, and we'd have to drop off film stock. Obviously, you can't have 16 millimeter film stock processed anywhere in Santa Barbara. So we drive to LA, to Hollywood, and get our film stock, processed. And we would go in, there were multiple groups of us, so we, ride share and go together. And one of my classmates was Brazilian and a very cool guy, a little high strung, but I like this guy. His name was Daniel. Anyway, we're on the 405, or I think we're probably on the 405, and he gets into it with this guy. You know how LA traffic gets? It's like late afternoon, so probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, where it starts getting real thick, right? We already done what we got to do. We're just trying to get back to Santa Barbara, where it's calm and mellow. And he gets into it with this guy, and I'm telling you, this guy in his truck was like trying to run us. He was trying to hit us. Like we're like dodging from this guy. And I was like, I kind of been telling him like, yeah, you really kind of need to chill out, like, because like here, I don't know if it's like that in Brazil. I'm gonna assume it's not, but here, yeah, road rage is a real thing. Like, so the fact that we were already afraid of encounters like this on the road, when it manifests as a film, and this is one of the first films that handled it that way, they didn't have to worry about that prior, in the 50s and the 60s. They didn't have to worry about road rage. It wasn't that much of it. Now we see these things as like highway predators. This is a territorial alpha. You're on his stretch of road, and it becomes a problem. Whereas Christine isolates you through affection, this truck isolates through fear. It preys on your vulnerability, like social hesitation, passive, personality. So the guy that it picks, David Man, is mild. He's all that stuff, and it senses that as weakness, and it presses it. It presses him. If you see the guy that gets into, man, and he's a very meek guy. You guys got to watch this film, like bring yourself up to speed on this. And this truck, man, I'm telling you, this truck, it feels like diesel breath. It's grinding metal, and it really represents this industrial brutality. A big machine versus a small man. That's what it was. It's a regular guy in like a Honda or something like that being hunted down by this vehicle here. And it's absolutely terrifying. So it's kind of like masculinity being under siege. It's this faceless system that's oppressing people. It's corporate power. It's all these things. But the threat level is extremely high. It's a big diesel. It's a powerful engine. The threat level that this thing will kill you is extremely high. Containment is, again, basically impossible because we've seen this car. I don't know if there's really a driver in there, but we've seen the car in itself operate completely autonomous. So at least that's what we see. This is kind of the Minotaur of the highway. This is Iron Leviathan. It's absolutely a test. The Desert Wraith is what they call it. No emotion, no jealousy, no love. Are you kidding me? No love, zero love, only pressure. And that is the recipe for a great movie. This is a great experience. I highly encourage you guys. Highly encourage you to go and check this one out. Okay, check it out. And then oh, wait a minute here. I don't want to get back to Christine. I want to get to this last one here, man, which is obviously the vehicle from the film Overdrive. Now, Overdrive comes later. I think we're like 1989 when this comes out, 88, 89. We'll see. I know I've got it in my notes here. We'll see how accurate I am or if I'm completely way off. I don't think I'm completely way off. I think I'm pretty close. A lot of times I'm pretty close. So this one it's not like Christine. It's not like the Duel car. This is not one rogue event. It's a planetary event where all these, inanimate objects start coming to life. So this is a planetary level event as a cosmic passes or Earth, and it doesn't people are not possessed by demons, they're not controlled by your spirits. It is simply turn on all machines, vending machines, ATMs, lawnmowers, and semi trucks all turn on. Now, why they turn greedy, evil, I don't know. They're smiling, they're grinning, and they're mocking us. And they're probably mad for whatever we've been doing them all. We've been making them work all the time with no pay, right? No nothing. Okay. We bought you, I own you, toaster. Get in there and get to work. But this one has a different behavioral pattern. It is coordinated hostility, resource control like gas stations. So it apparently did answer the getting gas problem. It offers strategic entrapment and a sustained siege behavior. So it's going to keep after you until it breaks you down. This isn't stalking one man. This is a containment system for what it does. And it uses absolute psychological warfare. This car is about resentment. All these creatures or machines that are alive, they're mad, right? They're tired of being used. I'm tired of being stepped on. Right when I saw I'm tired of being stepped, they were tired of being stepped on. They were essentially like, I'm not having it today. And that's how it went down. They were not having it. Humans have been enslaved, all these machines to feed their needs. Now the machines are fighting back, and clearly, they started with this, right? This is how they're going to do it. And the idea that it's a goblin face kind of makes it more insidious. Anytime you can associate a clown with horror, you're doing a really good job. I don't mess with clowns at all. I'll explain to you guys why I don't mess with clowns. And the irony is that they go from being these creatures that did work to now, haha, you're the servant. And as long as they have the setup to do it, like we're done, we're baked, right? He is the ultimate here. Humans were the enslavers. Like, we took all the machines and you guys all work down here. And machines are like, nah, son, we flipping the script and this is our revenge. You heard about revenge of the nerds? How about revenge of all the things that you may do work for you? Your toaster, your microwave, your personal devices that I'm not going to mention. And I don't mean your razor. That's not what I'm talking about, that, right? You got to make the same noises, but you know what I'm talking about. Shame on you for that, right? And then imagine that device getting sentient and be like, yeah, you better not put me in there or on that, because I'll show you something. So this is a complete changeover. And the green-faced goblin, that just adds to the mockery. It adds to the cruelty and how much I'm personally enjoying this, right? The vehicle. So it's thrilled that this is going down. Now, you hear it like blasting some AC/DC. You see cans flying out like they're bullets, right? I mean, it's raw. And you see bridges lifting like mechanical jaws. Like, there's a manic energy around this film. Whereas Christine was sleek and Duel was suffocating, Maxie is just unhinged, like just disturbed, man. Maybe it's how they came about, right? And there was some symbolism, right? There's, this is where it kind of gets thick. There's some technological dependence that we have, that we're running on machines, And you kind of like remove obedience, and society collapses when people start breaking the rules with these machines. There's kind of a corporate irony that the machines don't hide emotionally. They revolt, they gas, fuel, like all this stuff is just routine. And the cosmic difference is that the comic doesn't target humanity at all. It just activates like the inanimated robot. So we don't catch any upgrades because of this. It's only going to be a fade for us, a loss for us. So ultimately, what it is, you built something, and this thing just went, got its own soul, its own will, and now it's angry about it. So it's rolling around killing people. And this is a massive threat. Like I would say, because this thing can spread and it's all different kind of machines, it's a global threat. It's a global problem because I don't think that the machine took that many L's. And I think we can be really, really honest about that. Like the scariest thing is that the machines don't even have to be evil. They just kind of have to exist and not care about us. And that makes it a lot more terrifying. So we've seen some good archetypes. We see Christine, who's like the Siren, Duel, who's like the Predator, and Maximum Overdrive, which has like the Golem army. That's it. This is a whole army. Peterbilt trucks, Pintos, right? A Yugo might be up in there, right? All kinds of stuff because we got the army and we're about to run this bad boy. And that's what we leave off with. That particular movie is that they're on the hunt, and this is the card triad, right? It's about hunting, it's about love, it's about inspiration, upbringing, but it's also about the beast, right? The beast that we have to control that may be inside of some of us. Maybe others have been able to escape that curse, but that's what it is. Now, I noticed we didn't have any comments in the section. That's not right for this time. Let's please try to contribute on making a much better show and what I can give you guys. So anything that you have in question-wise, hit up in the comment box with your mythological queries as they were, and I'd love to be able to address that. And also, you can kind of tell me, guys, what you want to hear about. Like, what triads you think should be next. I think I'm going to go to another traditional triad, but we'll see if it holds my attention long enough to get it done. But I will be back probably later today with another MythLab, and great for being able to connect with you guys today. Look forward to speaking with you more.